One of the most common misconceptions about us intellectually gifted is the idea that we automatically excel in every area. In reality, like all people, we gifted have distinct individual aptitudes. It's so important to know that, and this is especially apparent when it comes to creativity. Contrary to popular belief, not all intellectually gifted people are inherently creative, and not all creatively gifted people are academically adept. Indeed, research indicates that possessing a high level of intelligence is not in itself a good predictor of creative ability. Most experts therefore feel that advanced creativity constitutes its own distinct form of giftedness. And that's what this video is about. What is creative giftedness? I want to explore this topic for you by asking the following 5 questions. 1. What does it mean to be creatively gifted? 2. Are all intellectually gifted people creatively gifted? 3. What's the difference between intellectually gifted and creatively gifted? 4. What are the challenges of the creatively gifted? And 5. How can we tackle those challenges? Let's get to it. 1. What does it mean to be creatively gifted? Someone who is creatively gifted is quick to think and make connections between things. We who are creatively gifted link new information to existing information in order to arrive at new insights and ideas. We have a way of thinking that is not necessarily related to our IQ. So, someone who is intellectually gifted doesn't necessarily need to be creatively gifted. Creative giftedness often manifests in uncommonly strong skills of imagination and visualization, music or arts, and even humor or playfulness. 2. Are all gifted people creatively gifted? As I just said, no, not necessarily. Someone who is intellectually gifted doesn't necessarily have to be creatively gifted. However, various studies show that this is usually the case for intellectually gifted people. Creativity is often mentioned as a characteristic of giftedness, but then it's not so much about being artistic, but more about the ability to come up with original solutions. We who are truly creatively gifted look at the world in a different way, which often makes us feel misunderstood. We are usually 2 steps ahead and excel in seeing opportunities for improvement. We love to innovate and change and always challenge ourselves to do so. In addition, we love autonomy and do not hesitate to teach ourselves new things. But still, how exactly do creatively gifted people differ from people who are intellectually gifted? All gifted children tend to be imaginative and exhibit a heightened capacity for abstract thought. However, not all intellectually gifted kids prioritize academic achievement. This makes differentiating intellectually gifted children from creatively gifted children a challenge. Parents or their daughter's educators can't simply look at their daughter's grades or examine which subject she excels in and determine whether she's intellectually or creatively gifted. Complicating matters further, not all creative individuals demonstrate remarkable skill in the visual or performing arts. For example, some creatively gifted children show a philosophical bent rather than taking an obvious interest in dancing, drawing, creative writing, or acting, etc. Instead, to identify creative giftedness, parents and educators need to examine a child's core traits. They need to look at the way she or he thinks, not just where they prefer to direct their energy. So what are the traits of creative giftedness? Here, I'm giving you 5 traits of creative giftedness. 1. Openness. Creatively gifted people live in a world of endless possibilities. Where an intellectually gifted person will debate the correct answer, a creatively gifted person will think of multiple potential answers or hypothetical scenarios. They enjoy experimenting with thought and finding exceptions to the rules. This is so me. 2. Inventiveness. Creatively gifted people are excellent at connecting seemingly disparate concepts in order to generate fresh ideas. They see problems and situations from strikingly unexpected angles. At times, their opinions may seem bizarre or contradictory to outside observers. This is also so me. 3. Distractibility. Because creatively gifted people are constantly overflowing with ideas, they have trouble staying on task, even when engaged in voluntary activities. These people tend to start a lot of projects but struggle to complete the vast majority of them. They are also preoccupied with imaginative fantasy, rather than internalizing information. As such, they tend to daydream a great deal. Yeah, this is how I was as a kid. 4. Intuition. Intellectually gifted people tend to use a mix of abstract and logical thinking to solve problems. Creatively gifted people, by contrast, rely heavily on their intuition. They often feel like they just know the correct way to solve a problem without being sure how they arrived at their conclusions. Here, I'm more intellectually gifted than creatively gifted. 5. Individualism. Though all gifted people tend to come across as being somewhat eccentric, creatively gifted people are often radically different. They usually show a marked lack of interest in fitting in, preferring to pursue their own unique style of expression. This can make it very difficult for them to participate in group learning. As adolescents and adults, they are often drawn to niche subcultures and unconventional modes of living. This also really describes me because I used to be a male dancer and there aren't that many male dancers around. Though all gifted people face a risk of falling through the cracks, creatively gifted people are particularly difficult to identify and diagnose. 4. What are the challenges of the creatively gifted? Many creatively gifted people do not match well with the current school system simply because the lessons cover things that are different than where their talent lies. The creatively gifted person feels misunderstood and can therefore underperform. Sometimes this goes unseen because the results are still in line with those of the rest of the class. But a creatively gifted person can also feel so bad about herself that it leads to behavioral problems. We creatively gifted often keep on feeling misunderstood in working life. Due to our different views of things and the high thinking pace, it is difficult for us to connect with coworkers. Non-creatively gifted people often overlook our unique qualities because we, creatively gifted, tend to keep our ideas to ourselves and often adapt to such an extent that we lose our own identity. How can we solve this? Schools and teachers can and should learn more about the learning process of a creatively gifted person. We who are creatively gifted prefer to learn top down. So by first gaining an overview and then diving deeper into the learning material. We also always look for the underlying idea, the why. The why means everything to us. So by explaining that first, we'll better understand the usefulness of the curriculum. For companies, it's important to know what we creatively gifted need to function properly. For example, the work must be sufficiently challenging, must offer sufficient autonomy. The work environment should be a place where we feel at home and can thrive. In many cases, entrepreneurship is a great solution for us because in that we find both the autonomy and the challenges we are looking for. This information came from these websites. You'll find these links below this video. If you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel and watch this series from the start. I don't know exactly in how many weeks, but I will be back with a new video in this series on intellectual giftedness. Till then, I only want to say 3 things. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I will see you back in my next video. Bye for now.